We are now live.
Hello and welcome everybody who's tuning in to see the International Art Alliance do their thing this week. We are coming to you from four different continents as six artists who found each other during the pandemic and the dark times and of struggle, I guess. And we found a connection that we wanted to keep alive. So we're doing this great project, Palimpsest, and we're sending seven different little test panel paintings to each other across the world to paint a different layer by each artist on, which is a very interesting collaborative kind of process. Andy Warhol and Basquiat did it, and there was famously some fireworks. So we're exploring it with you guys. And we are joined today by Ross C. Berman from California. And Ross does these amazing Jewish process. What are they called, Ross?
Well, that's a bunch of different things. I do pictures of Chai, the word Chai, life.
That's right. And they are fabulous. And Denise, say your name for me, Denise.
Bushman Pilger, or if you want to pronounce it in Dutch, it's Buisman Pilger.
Buisman Pilger. I love it. It's so much more exotic like that. Buisman Pilger. I love it.
Yes.
Denise is usually home, Quebec, but she is today coming to you from Vancouver and the International Design Show. You can go see her there. I think it's trade tonight. And then public Saturday, Sunday, right?
Yes, that's correct.
That's right. Lara Spadetto, thank you for joining us. I'm so glad to see your face from the UK. And Lara has gotten over the tech problems. Thank goodness. You're a little worried.
Yes.
She had the tech problems, and Cheryl in Australia, Cheryl Wilcox, has to wake up at the crack of dawn to join us. So we are so grateful that you're here, Cheryl. We have Stephanie McLean in Toronto. Stephanie is our tech guru right now, and we couldn't do it without her. I'm Rose L. Williams. I'm in Vancouver as well, and together we make up the International Art Alliance. We actually have two of our little test paintings to unveil. What we've been doing is snail mailing them to each other, literally, so that we get to open a panel. So why don't we dive in? Cheryl, are you ready? You have it at hand.
I'm excited.
This one arrived last week on the Friday. Just after we had our last show, we were wondering where it was.
Yeah. We were hoping that it was in last week, but...
Yeah. Well, now we know where it is. Thank goodness. Drum roll, please.
All about the paperwork.
I'm on a bed.
There we go.
Ooh.
I can't see it yet.
Can you hold it a little higher?
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Wow. I can tell you what I'm thinking. It seems like I don't know if you know the Divina Commedia from Dante.
Dante.
The thing that I thought it was the Inferno with Dante and Virgilio.
That's beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah. What did you add on there, Stephanie?
I added.
It looks like sparkling.
Yeah. So I added little gemstones, like little kind of, I guess, toy gemstones. But I just thought they fit in really well. So.
Wow.
Look at the little characters. They're holding one, too.
I know.
That's so cool.
Yes. That's fab. I love that.
Yeah, and I really like how the gemstones now sort of, it's like the little blue dots that you put there, Rose, inside the washi paper. It's sort of it's a reflection of the gemstones.
Yes. Yeah.
And how it relates to the gold also.
Yeah.
Cool. Yay! I'm glad it worked. Because feel free to say you don't like it, please. It's
It
okay.
looks like water down the bottom, doesn't it?
It does look like water. It does
Like
look
they're
like
standing
water.
in
Does-
water.
Yeah,
It's funny, but you know what?
it's such a delicate piece.
Yeah.
It's very sensitive. Everybody's done something really sensitive. The way that Ross started it, I feel.
I felt like
Yeah.
when I was adding those little gemstones, I felt like they were stars, and I felt like the character was actually carrying a piece of heaven to wherever he was going.
Wow, that's it's really developing its own narrative. So, Cheryl, are you the last person to work on this piece?
I don't think so.
I think so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
You
I
are.
think it was me and then you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I would be. I keep forgetting about Julie. I was
Yeah,
sort of
no,
looking
you
at
are
it.
the
It's
last
got
one.
sort of it's got five ticks. So I'll be the
Yeah.
last one.
Yes, you will be.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
and it's some narrative. This one is building its own character for sure.
So do we have some names for these, or perhaps people could name them for us?
Well, I think
Yeah.
we've kind of left it up in the air because okay, now I'm hearing an echo. We've kind of left it up in the air because we were thinking maybe it would be something that we could do with our viewers. You know.
Yeah.
Oh,
Get
look
them
at how
engaged.
many sparkles! I love that.
Yeah, that's really great. So Ross, I would love to know how you feel about this piece, seeing it now it's developed so far.
I love it where,
Be honest.
oh, absolutely.
Honest.
I
with
love-
your piece.
I love it where it's at. I had such a hard time beginning it for some reason. And for some reason I said, I'm going to do this on a black ground, which is something I've never done before. And I had material problems, which Rose also solved for me for my future. So all that, yeah, like she said, here, try this new material that I never heard of before. So
cool.
she's so good at that. If you ever, it's amazing. And so I really love what's happened to it, because now it's like taking whatever it was that was so faint and really creating, Rose, like you said, like a narrative and a scenario. And it just reminds me of so many things. It's really dreamlike. And then also I'm thinking when Cheryl said, oh, it looks like some water could go here. And my first thought was like, oh, if only somebody could paint water well.
So I guess Cheryl
It is
knows
water?
what she's
That's
doing
right.
with it.
Yeah.
Could be.
I always think it was really funny. One of my students said, "You'll have to teach me or something about how to paint water." And she said, "And what colours to use?" And I had to say to her, I said, "But water's transparent."
Reflective, right?
It takes on all the colours, like it reflects the sky, it reflects everything. But I thought, it's fascinating, isn't it, that water's transparent? Anyway.
Yeah.
What colour do I paint water? Well,
You
it's
just put your
transparent.
finger on it.
Which makes it one of the most difficult things to paint, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I find.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's so dynamic and fluid. It's
Yeah.
not just like a reflection, it's the reflection plus the layer plus the
The movement and the depth.
movement and the depth. Yeah, it's like all that. Not like
Yeah,
glass,
and plus what,
right?
plus what it's going over.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
If it's going over sand or if it's going over rocks. Yeah, mud. It is fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah, it's one of the most fascinating things to paint. It really is.
Yeah, and then if it comes out of a glacier, it's like glue.
Wow. And then if it's just in a glass, like a glass of water, it's
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
Yes.
transparent, right?
it's fascinating,
With
isn't
that
it?
Cool.
warp and what's
Yeah.
that, refraction, right?
Yeah.
It'll
That's
show,
right.
show it that way. It's all the suggestion of it. It's never actually the thing.
Yeah, it's always the suggestion or the reflection or the bounce or something, the
Yeah.
flare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, that's what we're capturing. It's almost like trying to capture sound on visually. It's,
It's true. No, that's
well,
good.
I'll tell you, This is a beautiful piece, but I think Lara also has a piece for us to reveal. Do you have one, Lara?
Yes.
Can I just ask Cheryl? Cheryl, do you have any ideas just off the bat what you're going to do with it?
No.
Okay. All right.
It's that there's like a pathway. There is almost a very sort of like a subtle staircase coming up through there, isn't there? There's a few little pathways in it, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's up to you to resolve it.
No pressure.
Maybe doing the opposite or something. I don't know.
Oh,
It's
like
a very
that.
delicate piece, though. It's going to be
It's sort of
difficult
nice.
to not do
Maybe
too much.
it just needs some really, really dark objects in, like other really dark pieces in the sky. It's got sort of a little hints of it, but I mean some other really dark objects, not bright. I don't know. Yeah, it's fun, isn't it?
Stay tuned
Yeah.
to what happens to what Cheryl does to it. We'll see. You have to choose, Cheryl. Okay, Lara, please let's reveal what you received in the mail.
Okay. Here I received this one from Ross.
Oh, that's you,
Ross
Ross.
had all the paintings.
Ross, look. Me?
Ooh, oh, that's a fun one to open.
Oh, yes.
That's the one that has the experience.
Yes.
There you go.
That's the one Rose started. Yes.
There's the ribbon.
Yeah.
It stayed with it the whole way. That's great.
So beautiful.
We didn't lose it.
That's fabulous.
I think we can be very glad that Ross actually sent this over, because I think he was very tempted to keep it.
Oh.
Oh.
Hey. Oh, wow. Look at that.
Oh, the little. Oh. A little. Sorry. I can't-
That's very thoughtful. That's a very thoughtful addition. Wow.
I don't know.
It has
It's better.
grown. You guys have elevated out of the
I
dirt.
love it.
Yeah. It's so
That
pretty.
is fabulous. So I guess Lara is the last one to work on this one as well, right?
I think so, yes.
So
All
Ross,
right.
sorry,
The
you
last-
added the pink, the light pink, sort
The
of
petals
petals.
fall.
That's what I thought they
Yeah.
were. Petals. Yeah. Oh, nice.
The petals falling. That's like food for the beetle.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't know what I am going to add. Maybe a little dot.
If that's what it requires, if that's all it requires.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's. I think it's perfect like this.
It's so nice,
It's
and I love
beautiful. It's a
those
lovely-
drops too coming off the leaf there.
Yes,
It's
because
beautiful.
there is enough color, but also it's like soft. So it's like a poem, a little poem.
Yeah, a little nature poem.
Yeah. It's very well balanced, that piece, I find.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 It also has developed a whole life of its own, though. It's great.
And
Especially
what I
the intention that it started with, and then what each artist has chosen to, it's just absolutely unpredictable process.
Yeah, and what I find remarkable about this painting, especially from all of them in the series, is that here all of our styles really marry well together. Like it really feels like it's one entity. It doesn't feel like disjointed or
It's true. Yeah.
or it's really like cohesive.
Yeah,
Lara,
it
do you
is.
mind moving it a little bit to your, yeah, that way. A little bit more. A little bit
Yeah.
more. There we go.
Yeah.
Good.
Yes.
Perfect. Thanks.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's pretty interesting the way this has depth and layers, like visually as well. That it's got this intuitive perspective again that everybody seems to have a handle on. That it's hard to teach in class.
Right.
No, but it's interesting how it has developed that perspective over time and with each layer.
Yeah.
Because initially the beetle was just sort of floating in space, and then I just made it where the flowers were floating above it, but it still it wasn't really grounded at that point yet.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no, it really, and even the water droplets really help to sort of
Beautiful.
place it.
Water droplets are beautiful.
Yeah, it really, it's giving the beetle everything it needs to survive.
Yay!
So Laura, do you have any ideas?
No.
A dot.
As I said, probably a dot, something that you cannot see, because I think it's perfect.
See, that's how I felt. Yeah, that's how I've felt about a few paintings. I thought.
But you might get some ideas when you read all of the writing.
Yeah.
Yes. To be honest, all the time it's reading what the others said, thought, doing the layer, that you come up with something different.
Yeah. That's exactly what happened to me, because I've been working on those hands that I opened last week, and initially I was sort of stumped at what to do with them, because there's a lot happening already, and I just was like, I don't know. And then I read everything, and then something that Ross had wrote sparked something in my brain, and now I did some digital sketches, and I know where to go, which is really exciting.
Oh, that's cool. Can't wait to see it.
Yeah,
That's beautiful, Lara. Lara, your hand must be getting tired.
Yeah,
I know what it's like. Like, oh, come on, just say something about it. Say something about it.
No, but I wasn't tired.
Okay.
Well, I kind of had a similar thing happening with the one that I opened last week. It's the lily pond, and I was like, what could you possibly do to this? But the writing is helping me kind of hone it into what would be sort of appropriate, like what the painting is maybe then asking for on a certain level, because of all the different intentions coming together. And I didn't anticipate that with this process, that the writings as well have been kind of layering the meaning and the outcome of each piece. It's I'm glad that we decided to add that as a component.
Yeah.
It really sort of gives more depth.
It seems much more influential than I initially thought it would be.
Yeah. I think we thought of it as documentation.
It's fundamental for how we develop our project.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, it's the roadmap. Like, to me, it's just like, that's what I have to follow.
Yeah, conceptually, it's helping us to kind of stay in the same ballpark, in the same, but also with all our different styles. It's kind of like, like a roadmap. It's fundamental roadmap. It's an interesting project how we're developing this as we're going, because we didn't really realize the profound nature of that part of it, until we started doing it. And also, I think the profound nature of us sharing this live as different media that we're exploring together and with our audience, I think that's also had like a feedback kind of influence. At least for me, it has. It's interesting.
Well, I also think that the fact that we write about our intentions and what we did, like artistically, to each layer, I think it does help make the pieces more cohesive, because it's easier to stay within a certain sort of mindset for that particular painting if you know what that initial mindset was. If you just go by the image, it's much more difficult, I think, to add something that is cohesive within the thought behind it.
It's almost like they're adding up to be these kind of free-form poetry pieces that are accompanying the visual, so that they have that kind of sort of symbiotic influence on each other, like the poetry and the visual. It's kind of it's really, I don't know, I'm finding it a very sort of poetic experience to explore together with you guys, myself.
It is.
It's very cool.
It's very freeing, I find, even though it's challenging and it's scary at times. It's still very freeing on the other hand.
Yeah, it's got that component to it.
Yeah.
So I want to use a couple minutes while we're still together to talk about Denise's show.
Yes.
We know you're at the interior design show here in Vancouver. We get you for a couple days, but you also have a solo show launching in October.
Yes, October 6th it's opening. So I'm prepping two shows back to back, which is a little bit more intense than I thought it would be.
Well, I wanted to ask you about that because I was thinking, gee, like, what is like the nitty gritty of this process?
Yeah, it's a bit much. Like I was earlier this week, I had like 500 things on my plate because on top of doing a solo, we also the gallery because I'm doing it at the gallery, so it's luckily not just me that has to do all these things. I can share the responsibility, which helps, but still a lot of it falls to me because I have to arrange for all the stuff to like the artwork needs to get to the gallery and like I need to make sure that they know what prices the artwork is and there's a lot of like weird
Details.
stuff that needs behind the scenes stuff.
So,
that,
Denise,
yeah.
so what happens if you have a sellout and do you have enough for your next show?
If I sell out here, yeah. Because
Do you have enough for your next show?
well, I had to split the work. My
I
solo
know.
exhibition in Toronto coming up is just about Japan. So it's just the
Okay.
Japan themed work, and I made a choice to bring 3 Japan themed pieces here, which ideally I would have liked to also be in Toronto, but I highly doubt that my crate, if it leaves here, because it leaves here on Tuesday, if it will arrive in Montreal in time for me to bring it to Toronto. I would really like that to happen, but I am sort of thinking that it won't. So I prepare myself for the worst, that they won't be there. But I mean, they already had a good fair amount of work at the gallery there, Japan themed, and I dropped off 10 more pieces 2 weeks or last week, and then I have 2 more that I still need to varnish, which was a whole other thing because the varnish was not available. But I was very insistent with Golden, so I emailed back and forth with our technical person, and they decided they've been experimenting with a new mix, newer formula. And I special ordered that from them. So it's on the way now. So I'm gonna try out the new formula of varnish on the 2 pieces that still need to go to Toronto. So that's another challenge that I have.
That works out perfectly.
So it's all very exciting, and we have some really cool stuff planned on top of just the regular show. There's going to be an opening night on the Thursday, and we have a couple of surprises that I cannot quite reveal yet. But as soon as I can, I will talk about those. And we are potentially have another event planned, like an artist talk, and potentially maybe a tea ceremony or something at the end of the month. Also
How long is
coinciding.
this show going to be up?
Until November 10th, so a little more than a month.
And what's the name of the gallery?
It's the Latitude 44 Gallery. They are located in Toronto on Dundas Street West, and the show is called Memories of Japan.
That's sweet. But so at the interior design show here in Vancouver, you do have a couple Japanese themed pieces. How many pieces did you bring in total?
I just set it up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on the wall, plus 2 extra that I have here in my room.
Nice. Okay, that's cool. That's great.
Yeah. And usually
that's
when I do shows like this, I have like a bunch of extra work. So this is actually the first time that people, if they buy something, they won't be able to take it home unless it's one of the smallest ones, because I have 2 of those extra. But otherwise, I'm going to have to put a dot on it, and I'll have to deliver it after the show, because you can only bring so much in a crate, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well, it just makes it a little bit more rare.
It does.
I guess Denise, having the crate delivered to Toronto wouldn't be helpful, would it? Because that way it would be, I guess it's the same amount of time. Okay.
It would be, yeah. And I have to deliver it to a place where I can physically pick it up with the van. So.
Right. Well, you could do that here, but I get it.
Yeah,
I get
could do that here, but it is what it is.
Okay.
I mean, it's not like there's not enough work.
I just want to point out to our audience that we share this kind of stuff because the kind of logistics involved in being a professional artist are actually many and varied. And the idea that it's just all creative and all fun is being a myth busted by us right here and now, because we are all of us fascinated by how Denise is juggling having a show in Vancouver, a show in Toronto, other pieces available, prints available. Everything has to be sort of pre-planned.
Yeah.
Inventory.
Well, let me tell you,
Valerie,
right now, my amazing husband is running around this city to find a battery, because I always have a little video screen running that shows my process, and it's not working right now. And the show opens at 7 p.m., which is about 6 hours from now. And my husband is not 100% sure whether the screen is broken or the remote control is just not working, because it was all in the crate. So he's now trying to find a new battery, and also it's one of those things that you measure electricity with, because he's going to have to figure this out in the next 6 hours.
Wow. Go Sunny.
Wow. Props to the artist assistant / husband.
Yes.
Important person.
Yes.
Honestly, I wouldn't be able to do this without him. Honestly.
Rose, where's your dog? I want to see more of that dog.
No, he's getting up to mischief at the farm.
She's like,
I want to see videos.
I don't want to talk about her husband. I want to talk about your dog.
Well, he's my art assistant most of the time. So yes, I get it. And he is actually my assistant because I gather and forage in the outdoors. So he's my, he comes along with me and he protects me and he lets me know, what's going on around me when I'm totally lost in oblivion picking flowers.
I don't know. I don't believe you, because I have never seen him.
Oh,
I have never seen him out there foraging.
Oh yeah, he leads the whole thing, and I honestly do want to give props to all of the people in our collective lives.
Yeah,
they give us the support and the technical support, the emotional support, and financial and everything to help us keep making art, because being a full-time artist is not the easiest choice in life. And I don't think any of us could do it without those people in our lives that usually go unsung. So I just wanted to shout out. And anybody else, before we wrap up today, anybody else have a show or anything they want to tell us about?
No, but Denise and I appeared on a podcast, or appeared. Yes. Yeah, we appeared. Our voices appeared on a podcast. Yes. It's the Auntie Lynette Show podcast, and our episode is premiering or being aired on September 28th, whatever day that is.
Yeah.
Where would we go to find it, Stephanie?
Anywhere that you listen to podcasts, isn't that right, Denise? I think it's anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Well, I tried. I haven't been able to find it yet, but I know Lynette had a link on her Instagram.
Okay.
Because I think she's still, because it's a new podcast, they're still figuring out where they're going to host it. But they do have a link on their Instagram, which we also will share on ours.
Okay, great.
And then we will also share it on the website as well as on Facebook.
So how was it? How was the podcast?
Oh, it's great. She's hilarious. She's so energetic. It was great. We talked about, Denise talked about growing up in an all-female household and how that sort of influenced her as a strong woman, I would say. Is that right? Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we
talked about the project a lot.
Oh yeah, of course. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. We did.
Well, I challenge you working together.
Yeah.
We have to put all our trust in you when you say good things about us.
Of course.
We did. We talked about the challenges of working together as a group and collaborating in this sort of a situation. And Lynette was able to get very deep in. We only had a 20-minute conversation, but she got us to a pretty deep, into a pretty deep conversation. I think it was really good.
Yeah.
Well, I really appreciate that she's taken that time to do that with us and our project,
super
you guys. And shout out to Auntie Lynette.
Woo!
And that's our half hour today. And I just like to say I really enjoy and look forward to this little time I have with you guys each week. I hope the people who are joining us, either live or afterwards, can enjoy it with us, because it's a very special process that we're sharing with the world right now. And who knows, what's going to happen in our future projects. Stay tuned.
Okay, thanks everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.